Hello everyone, I'm Brian and today I'm reacting to There Is No Yesterday or Tomorrow. Krishnamurti. Krishnamurti. Okay, so there's no yesterday or tomorrow. I do believe there's no tomorrow. And yesterday, kinda? Because at least from my understanding is that the way we see things is light. Everything's reflecting light. So when you see blue, you see basically whatever it is, it's absorbing all the colors except for the blue, and it's reflecting blue back. Therefore, that's how you see blue. And it's kind of the same thing, where the light reflecting off of us is bouncing away from us, and then going out into space. Eventually, if you can collect all those light particles, you might be able to see the past, you might be able to see yesterday, but you won't be able to see tomorrow. But it's really weird to say there is no yesterday and tomorrow, because at least in my mind, tomorrow exists. It's not right now, it's tomorrow. And what I mean by that is that, like, oh, my plans for tomorrow, I have to go get gas for my car, petrol or gas for my car. I have to go to the post office to mail something off, or I have to cook me something, and these ideas and thoughts make tomorrow exist as though it was real, but it's not. It's all in our mind. Yesterday, again, all memories, but not physically real. I even thought about this, which is kind of weird, to say that we are not seeing the present, but we are seeing the past. Well, you are definitely seeing the past, because I've done this and it's released in a few days, so it's obviously the past. But what I'm saying is, like, if you're looking at your wall or you're looking at the light, I better not stare at the light. If you're looking at the wall, you're seeing the past, you're not seeing the present. Why? Because it takes time for light to reach from the light source to the wall, to your eyes, for your eyes to reach your brain, for your brain to interpret it. That microsecond, or however long it took, is already the past. So therefore you're living in the past and not in the present. I'm saying that now, and that is crazy. I don't know, let me know about that. We're seeing things from the past and not the present. That's I wonder if anyone ever said that before. I'm sure someone had to have already said that. Let's go ahead and get this video started. I'm talking too much.
Yes, sir. How does one die each day? Is there a method?
If you reincarnate.
If there is a method, then the method produces its own end. Surely. If I follow a particular method, you told me how to die every day, a method, step by step. What happens? Do I die actually, or am I practicing certain method to die? And please, this is very important to understand this. The means is the end.
Okay.
The two are not separate. If the means is mechanical, the end is mechanical.
Oh, I was thinking along the lines like, if your means is like you're hungry, and the ends of the means is to be not hungry, the means is the end. If your means is to go to get food, the means is to get there, get food, and then that's the end of the means. Maybe I'm oversimplifying it. Maybe I'm not understanding it. Because the end is mechanical. That, I need him to explain a bit more.
If the means is a way of assuring pleasure, gain, profit, and all the rest of it, then the end is also that.
Bad.
So the means creates its own end.
Is it because if your means is to get pleasure, once you've obtained it, it ends, therefore you no longer have it, so it's bad?
And one has to completely deny that mean, or the total means, which is time. So there is no how to die. You understand, this sounds rather silly. let me, un instant, je prie. So, look. You have a certain habit, sexual, certain habit of drinking, smoking, talking, mannerisms, temperaments. Can you die? Can you completely put it away on the instant? Smoking, drinking, pleasure.
You could maybe put it off, but eventually, because of habit, you will always go back to it. So you may be like, well, smokers for sure, generally they're addicted to it, so they can only resist their addictions for so much before they have to take a puff, as they say.
I know that there are the methods of how to give up smoking, little by little, one by one, you know. But that's not, you don't give, there is no ending to that. Ending means finishing, completely ending. And that does take place when death actually comes. You don't argue with it. So can one live so completely each day, each minute, so that there is no yesterday or tomorrow. So to do this requires a great deal of meditation and inward awareness.
So my beginning talk was completely wrong. But I forgot who said this, whether it was Osho or Sadhguru. Basically living moment to moment. Oh, it was Osho. He was talking about if you're living in the future, you're not here with me now. So you have to live in the now to be able to experience it. Because otherwise, in my interpretation of that, your mind is thinking of the future and not what's going on now. And therefore, it's kind of like that idea about the movie Click. It's related in some way, but basically your mind is constantly focused on the future and you're not really paying attention to what's going on around you now.
It's not a matter of agreeing or disagreeing or asking how is it to be done. Nobody is going to tell you whether you have or have not. So this demands a great deal of energy and insight and understanding and awareness. And highest quality of sensitivity, which is intelligence. After all, the drugs, LSDs and all the rest of it, makes one, not that I've taken them, makes one sensitive in a particular corner of that vast field of life. In the rest of the field one is insensitive, dull. And because one becomes highly sensitive in a particular area, seeing colors, visions, experience, and all the rest of you think that's the whole of substance of life. But to understand the totality of life, one must be totally sensitive, both physiologically and psychologically. You think one thinks one can be highly psychologically sensitive, but physically brutal, heavy, insensitive. Life is not to be divided into fragments and each fragment in conflict with the other. We only know this conflict, this endless effort till we die. In the family, in the office, in the quiet moments of our life. There is never a moment of silence, a state without effort.
Oh my gosh. What a pause there, but it's like 6:45 out of 6:46. I not quite understanding him on this one. There's no yesterday or tomorrow. I think I got that portion correct, but I was waiting for something to kind of click or make sense to me towards the end. I want to rewind it a bit.
Highest quality of sensitivity.
I get the fact that when you only activate, say, one part of your brain, it's not enough. It needs to be all active or none at all. Or none at all. To have a completely blank mind.
Which is intelligence. After all, the drugs, LSDs and all the rest of it, makes one, not that I have taken them, makes one sensitive in a particular corner of that vast field of life. The rest of the field one is insensitive, dull.
I get that.
And because one becomes highly sensitive in a particular area, seeing colors, visions, experience, and all the rest of you think that's the whole of substance of life. But to understand the totality of life, one must be totally sensitive, both physiologically and psychologically. You think one thinks one can be highly psychologically sensitive, but physically brutal, heavy, insensitive. Life is not to be divided into fragments and each fragment in conflict with the other. We only know this conflict, this endless effort till we die. In the family, in the office, in the quiet moments of our life. There is never a moment of silence, a state without effort.
So the last part, I may understand it, but I'm not sure I fully understand it. So I think he's saying that, well, he was saying that life should not be fragmented, but you have to be both psychologically and physically sensitive. And it can't be fragmented where you're psychologically sensitive but not physically sensitive, or physically sensitive and psychologically insensitive. And but I still, okay, I get that, but I'm not sure how to understand that, I guess. In order to fully grasp, understand life, you must be both physically and psychologically sensitive. Okay, but somehow it's just not clicking for me there. I get that you have to be sensitive in both parts, both physical and psychological, but there's just something missing for me. I don't know what it is. And this last part where it says there's never a moment of silent state without effort. I didn't understand it the first time, but I think I get it this time. Basically, in order to have a silent state, I'm assuming like meditation, you have to put effort into having this silent mind. But eventually, well, I assume eventually that effort will go away to have a completely silent mind. So I'm guessing, like I've said before, I've heard that people would use sound. They focus on a sound, and when they focus on the sound, everything else disappears. And that sound is the effort. And then eventually you remove the sound completely, and where you have nothing in focus, where you have a truly silent state, and then it is without effort. So I'm not sure. This one is a bit more confusing for me than his other videos was. I think I understood some of it, somewhere around the middle about the psychological, and the physiological is still, I get it, but I don't know what it is I'm not understanding about it. I get it, but I don't fully understand it. And then the last part is, I assume that last statement I made was correct in that, in terms of the fact that you have to, you cannot get into a silent state without effort, basically. But to get in that silent state, as far as I can tell, is also to remove the effort once you get to a certain point. Anyways, this one was a little bit, and I was also looking for the answer of there's no yesterday or tomorrow, but I think I got that part at the very beginning where Sadhguru was talking about, or I'm sorry, Osho was talking about when you're living in the future and the past, you're not here now, so you need to remove the tomorrow and tomorrow and yesterday to live in the now. Alright, that's my reaction to There's No Yesterday Tomorrow with Krishnamurti. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.